Welcome to the Encore Audio Archives YouTube channel. I'm Taper Dave, and this is my channel. I've uploaded hundreds of talks here that I've recorded at meetings in West LA, and I've also recorded conventions starting in 2013. I've got a bunch of those up. And Walt and Mary Murray, the original owners of Encore Audio Archives, started the company in the 80s, and Walt recorded Joe and Charlie's and a bunch of stuff down in Vista, California. My sobriety date is June 20th of 1994. I hope you find something you like, so please like and subscribe to my channel and comment down below. If you want to hear something that I don't have or that you don't see, I'll see that I get it. Anyways, take care and have a great day if you want to.
This world in order. Hi, y'all. Katie Parker, alcoholic. We are in for some fun, man. We're in New Orleans. You just got to come. You know what I mean? Wow. Do you guys want to sit down back there? Because I can get everybody. Raise your hand if you got an empty seat next to you. Keep them up for just a second. You guys move quick. Don't be sitting there deciding what you want to do. Okay. Hands down. That was long enough. Oh my gosh, you guys. Charlie and I love coming to Louisiana. It is really like visiting another country. I know you know that. And we're pretty darn proud of Texas, but you guys run a close second at being pretty darn proud of your state, too. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I always tell folks, I say, they'll always say, oh, you're from Texas, you're from the South. It's like, no, see, I'm from Texas. The South is east of Texas, so we're just from Texas. And you're from Louisiana. You ain't South Carolina or North Carolina. Are you with me on that? To tell you. And it is just really a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be asked to speak anywhere in Alcoholics Anonymous. It's a pleasure to do anything. But let me tell you, the difference between making coffee and standing here, big difference. Okay, just want you to know. Big difference. People always go, I'll do anything, it's all the same. No, it's not. No, it is not. I would like to ask something, though. I have noticed at this conference this weekend, and I get a little picky. I get a little pig-headed, and I'm opinionated. Please turn off your cell phone for 1 hour for me. Don't turn it on vibrate. Don't silence it. Put it up just for 1 hour. Let's not have a cell phone ring. God almighty. And this poor guy today during our sponsorship workshop was taking notes on his phone, and I thought he was texting, and I had to just do a lot of praying not to come off and take his head off. I thought, you pick that phone up one more time and tap away. And then he goes, I was taking notes. I swear to God, I was taking notes. But one of the things that happens in AA that we don't really notice, people are starting to look at their phones to, they have their big book on their phone and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't like that. Bring the book. Bring the book. Put your phone, leave it in the car. And if you're worried about the babysitter, well, you probably shouldn't have left your kid with them. You know what I'm saying? It's 1 hour. Oh, my God. Oh, I forgot to turn my timer on. Hold on. She's gone. She's back. Bear with me. I got to keep myself on timer. I don't want to run over. Guys, several things, though, that you'll get from me. My husband says I'm a little bit like taking a drink out of a fire hose. And you just get a little bit more than you were expecting. And I'm telling you right now, put your seatbelt on because we're getting ready to have some fun. You know what I mean? I got to tell you, this little girl that won the money and had 1 day of sobriety needs, oh, don't clap yet. She needs 48 hours of surveillance, okay? Yeah. No. Yeah. Everybody's clapping. Lucky her, God's will. No, we don't send her out with $800 in her pocket with 1 day sober. 48 hours of surveillance we're going to put on you there. She's got 2 days sober? Oh, she's working a desk. Okay, 48 hours of surveillance. You got it? I want to thank Angel. Oh, my God, what a doll. Angel and I have been communicating. We met in Destin, and You know, I got to tell you, she's just been fabulous. And she said, you know, Katie, anything you need. And it's like, well, Charlie and I were just here 2 weeks ago, and those beignets. My butt would be this big if I lived in New Orleans. I kid you not. Wow. That is like a breakfast meal. Are you kidding me? And, I mean, in Texas, you know what we did with beignets? We made them into funnel cake. That's what we call them in Texas. And you got to buy them at the carnival. They are not a beignet. But we did the best we could. And I told her, she said, is there anything you need? I said, can you get me some of those beignets? And she said, I'll bring them tomorrow morning, which was today. And I said, good. And I run into her when I'm coming off the elevator. And she's got this little bitty bag. And I told her I wanted a lot of them. You know what I mean? I'm alcoholic, man. I'll tell you what I want. And she said, I got the beignets. And I looked down. I went, in that little bitty bag? Man, it looked like there was one in there. And she goes, no. And she goes offside, and she hands me 8. Yes. Is that the best? I swear. But, you know, we're so self-centered. You know, it wasn't like I could look down there and go, oh, rats, thank you. It's like, that's it? Really? I want to thank Ralph. Oh, God dang, I love Ralph. Oh, I love Ralph. What can you say about Ralph? But he's just a fabulous guy. I just love him. And Felix, we got to meet Felix a few weeks ago when we were here. Did he leave? I'll wait till he comes back. Oh, is he? He's checking on that 48-hour surveillance on that girl is what he's doing. What Felix is just fantastic. He took us all over town, and 2 weeks ago when we were here for business, and we got to know him, and it was just great. And I haven't gotten to meet the chair person, and she's just done a fantastic job. What a great conference. The other thing is my new one-eyed buddy Ray. Oh my God. We get in the car with One-Eyed Ray. I'm assuming that's his nickname because everybody talks about the fact he's got one eye. And we're sitting in the car, and I'm in the middle of the back seat, and there's bucket seats, right? And Ralph goes, I don't want to scare you guys, but Ray's only got one eye. Well, I'm thinking he's pulling my leg. You know what I mean? I mean, who talks about somebody's one eye? Ray only has one eye. I don't know if you guys know that. One eye. And I'm telling you what, go ahead, cover up one eye and check out your depth perception. It's a little off. And I mean to tell you, I don't have a seatbelt on. Everybody else is going to live but me. I'm going straight through that windshield. And I swear to God, at one point I'm looking at Angel going, find that seatbelt, man. And I'm thinking, Ray, you need another set of eyes? I can tell you, whoa, slow it down, speed it up, slow it down, speed it up. Woo! You hadn't lived till you've ridden with Ray in his one eye. I'm not kidding you. You know, it's funny, I got off the plane. I like to kind of warm the crowd up because, like I said, I'm like taking a drink out of a fire hose, so after a while you'll be going, who is this chick? Oh, yeah, trust me, it's not my first rodeo. And, but I get off the plane, and like I said, being in Louisiana it's just fabulous. And I go up to this porter, and he's standing there, and I guess I must walk aggressively. I don't know. People say they can feel my energy the minute I walk in a room. I don't really see that I got all that much, but I guess I do. And I walk up to this man. I said, can you tell me where the restroom is? And he goes, which one? I said, well, I'd like the ladies' room, but I mean, if the men's room all I got, I've been there before, too, so I mean, but it was so good. Which one? Oh, my gosh. You know, I got a rip on this, and forgive me for whoever did it, I'm not going to ask, but did anyone else think that those people hanging from a blender was a little weird? Oh, my God. It took me forever to go. I thought, maybe that's a coffee cup, and it just clips people by the feet when it swings through the air, and you know, and then I finally kind of put it all together, and you know, not like you could have had like a lawyer and a wino as people that don't mix, or you know, kind of a group of people that look like they're one friend. No, let's stick them on the end of a blender. Yeah. I swear. Now, personally, I would think that was on the committee that was like going, I got an idea. Let's stick them on the end of that blender. Yes. Oh my God. Got it. Telling you, I love it. Okay, my home group. It's a primary purpose group. We study the book in Austin line by line, week after week. We've been doing it for 7.5 years. We have over 225 people in Austin studying the big book. Come on, come on. It doesn't matter if you like the book or not. That's impressive in 2013. I got sober October the 28th of 1984. I've been sober 28 years, and I don't know if you guys had the pleasure of being here to see my husband, which by the size of this room, where were you? But hello, it's not just a Saturday night event. You know what I'm saying? And he did a fantastic job. I'm telling you, my husband does an amazing first step talk. I just love it, and I'm pretty crazy about him too. But I don't know if you heard that he has 5.5 months less than I do. I'm just saying. And people always say that time doesn't matter. It damn sure does. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It matters, and it matters in our house. When he's struggling a bit, I always tell him, honey, in about 5.5 months, it'll make more sense to you to just... we come from, Charlie and I have had, our stories are a lot alike in the fact that we both had our most significant spiritual awakening at 17 years sober. One of the things I like to do is I'm a mother of two. I have a 34-year-old daughter. I have a 24-year-old son. I have 3 grandchildren, 6, 2, and 18 months. And oh my God, grandbabies are God's do-over, aren't they? Oh God, especially for the alcoholic. You really get to do the do-over. I mean, little Max will come to me and go, Graham, can I have a popsicle before dinner? You're like, have 3. Yeah. Watch SpongeBob all day. I don't care. Run with the scissors, man. It's all good. I will not be here your entire lifetime, so I will spoil you rotten. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things that I like to do is I like to talk about being sober. I can talk a bit about my drinking, but today I talk about being sober. I've been sober 28 years. That's the work. That's the tough work. We all know how to get drunk. I do need to qualify, but I will be talking mostly about getting sober and staying sober in this program. It's interesting. I believe that every answer to every problem I have is in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. That was not always my experience. Matter of fact, I've been through many experiences in AA where I didn't really care for the book. I never really disliked the book. I just disliked the person carrying the book. You with me on that one? I really didn't. I mean, it was Bill Wilson. Him and a group, came together and wrote the book, so I can't really not like the book. I just didn't like the guy that walked into the meeting quoting the book. And so that's where I went. There's many places. I today have learned that I am the vessel that can connect you to the power. I am not the power. Never have been, never will be. But I am the vessel that connects you to the power. I have a message of depth and weight. I am armed with the facts about myself. That does not mean that you're not beyond human aid, and so am I. But I'll tell you what, if you're on the firing lines and carrying this message like nobody's business, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so that's what we're going to talk a bit about here. I tell you, the fire hose is getting ready to start, guys, so I just want to warn you, all right? And by the time this whole thing is done, I hope you like me. I know you will. I had a disease that started long before I ever took a drink. I did not realize that alcohol was the solution. And I got to talk about Big City, man. I love Big City. Your husband, love him. For I tell you what, did you love hearing him on Friday night? Oh my God. I am not kidding you. We'd have all played together. Charlie and I were talking about that. We'd have all played together. I'd have been in that van, but I would not have been the girl putting out. I just want to make that real clear. I didn't. That was not my cup of tea. I never played around in my little mess kit, if you know what I'm saying. I did all that elsewhere, where nobody knew me, nobody saw me. But I would have drank with you in a heartbeat. And I loved what he said when he said alcohol was the solution. See, I didn't realize I suffered from alcoholism. Alcoholism, if I believe it is what it is a spiritual disease, yes? And what we suffer from is an allergy, an obsession that is driven by a malady. I had that long before I took the drink. But here's the tricky thing. When we take a drink, the first thing you'll hear all of us say is, I felt something that I had never felt before. I took a drink and it made me feel like I was somebody, right? It fixed the malady. And so what we do is we drink until the drinking doesn't work anymore. So we actually come into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, if we're lucky enough to make it in here, thinking the drink is the problem. So by the time you get the drink off of me, the obsession to drink is gone, which happens usually within 90 days. Wouldn't you agree with that? Yeah. About 90 days, the obsession is gone. And most of us just go, whew, okay. I'll go to the gym. I'll get a credit card. I might even have me another baby. Bam! I got it from here, ma'am. And we go through life believing the drink was the problem. Now, we're seekers, and we're going to grow spiritually, I think, whatever that means. I'm going to read a lot of books, maybe go to church, sit in the ashram. Then about a year or two go by, and kind of restless, kind of irritable, kind of discontented. Guy in my home group's making me crazy. There's Big Head Doug. Pop him off right there. Bandana Brian. Oh, she's going to share again. I'm going to get coffee. Forget it. No. Not doing that. People say, how you doing? Good. 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 And by year 3 or 4, if we're lucky to make it there, 3 or 4, I'm out of my mind. I am stark raving sober. Now, I'm doing, when I came in, most of us, in order to get that obsession removed, we did what I call triage. We did the steps. But that was about it. I love in the book where it says we've made just a beginning. And most of us make those amends, right? The ones that are the tornado, myself included, but we don't make all the amends. I mean, come on. I don't know about you, but I was amazed before I was halfway through. And I really felt like, you know what, I don't think I need to make any more. You know, that place is out of business, and God, I don't even remember her last name. Oh, whatever. And so then we go, and you know, the thing about us alcoholics is we are amazing people. You know what, do you guys have tree roaches here? Oh, my God. And whoever called that a water bug, stop it. That is a tree roach. And it's about that big, and it's got a head that goes. And then when it sees you, it goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. I mean, it's unbelievable. And then all of a sudden, you know, you see that tree roach and you think, oh my God, I got to kill it. And you know, you manage to step on it and you hear that pop and those legs fly off. Oh, come on. And you know, anybody that lives in the South knows bugs. And those legs pop off and you go to get that wad of paper towels because you're not using a tissue. Wad of paper towels. Come in with that mitt to get it and you look down and it's gone. It is gone. And its legs are still laying there, and it's gone. And you think, oh, my God. It's sitting there somewhere going. Well, welcome to Alcoholics Anonymous, man. We are the roach. We are. You just can't take us out. You know what I mean? We are amazing. You know, the whole place burns down. We walk out going, whoo! Okay. Oh, my God. I mean, don't get me wrong, we lose a lot to this disease. I'm not kidding around with that part. But we are the most resilient people you will ever meet. I think it's because we're so self-centered. I really do. I think everything just bounces off of us. You know what I mean? Oh, well, oh, well, oh, well, until all of a sudden you hit me in that soft spot. And that's what I'm talking about, man. That is what I didn't get. You know, as a kid, I was driven. I was absolutely driven. I mean, Red Rover, let Katie come over. Man, I mean, I was crazy. I went in the pool one time to get a watermelon, had Vaseline on it. It was a game. Stupid game. Stupid game. In the deep end. And I remembered my lungs were going to explode, and I was getting that watermelon, man. I always knew I was driven. But what I didn't get, guys, is I did not understand that that was alcoholism. Now, as a kid, you know what I loved? I loved Vicks Formula 44. Man, that black stuff in that bottle. Heck, I didn't realize I was drinking almost pure alcohol. Right? And I loved to hyperventilate. I got any hyperventilators out there? Oh, yeah, man, it was sweet. Now they've turned it into some sort of twisted sexual thing, but trust me, back then, no, we're not talking sexual. We're talking 8 years old. Your sister, you know, rolls up a towel and chokes you till you pass out. And then this is the best part. It's that moment when you come back in. It's not the going out. It's the coming back in. And I swear to God, that could be a test for alcoholism, because the kids that went, do it again, were probably one of us. And the ones that ran from the room were the Al-Anons, trust me. Woo! And I mean, I loved it. The only problem, it left a lot of marks on your neck and you could get in trouble. But, you know, I mean, I loved anything that took me out of the way I felt. I was born with a feeling that I didn't feel like I fit in. You may have to overachieve to feel like you fit in. You may have to be smoke in a room, invisible. It's how self manifests for you. Doesn't make you any less alcoholic than I am. A lot of people always go, man, that chick, she is self-centered. Glad I don't have it like she has it. And the book is real clear that self-manifested in various ways is what causes my failure. If you show up, you can tell by my personality I need to be on a short leash. You know what I mean? I am the, pull it. Right? But you have personalities that are like smoke in a room. You have personalities when somebody says, you know that chick, Mary, and you're like, I got no recollection of her. Flying stealth, man. That's how self manifests for her. Doesn't make her any less alcoholic than I am. Don't ever lose sight of that. You go farther down the scale than I did, does not make you any less alcoholic. We're talking garden variety drunk, right? And that's the tricky part. I always thought I didn't have it as bad as Charlie. Oh, my God. Woo! Charlie, he's self-centered. I mean, I was voted most likable 4 years in a row. I don't have it as bad as he has it. Woo! Was I wrong? He points out every once in a while my self-centeredness. But what happened to me is I was born, I'm 55 years old. I got sober when I was 26. My mother, when I was the youngest of three, and my mom was 33 years old, and she basically got sick what seemed to be overnight and died. So I'm 8 years old, my mother dies, and my father remarries 3 times in 18 months. Yeah, this is 1966. And at that point, the men were kind of running the deal before we women came in. And the men were running the deal, and so he needed a mother for us 3 kids. That's what he did. He was a traveling salesman. He actually played a little professional ball for the Steelers. And but he married 3 women in an 18-month period and had 4 live-in housekeepers. So we had 7 women come through our house in an 18-month period. Now, let me tell you something about that, guys. I would have swore to God that made me alcoholic. I thought something had to make me alcoholic. And so when I came into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, I thought you would have drank too if you had that situation happen. It was tragic. And what I realized today is what happened in that 18-month period and what happened in all the years to come is that influenced my old ideas. Where do you find your old ideas? in the third column of a 4-column inventory. It affects my self-esteem, my pride, my ambition, my security, my personal relationships, my pocketbooks, my sex. How? How do you think about your self-esteem? How do you think about your pride? What are these things that are going on? See, somebody told me, he said, well, you know, it says you got to let go of your old ideas. The result was nil till you let go absolutely. Old ideas, belief systems, what I believe about myself. A lot of people have a misconception that old ideas are all bad. Oh, no, they are not all bad. As a matter of fact, I'll stand here and say I'm a good AA member. Matter of fact, I'm a damn good AA member till you challenge me. Now, if I believed I was that good of an AA member, if you challenge me, it shouldn't bother me, should it? That's going to have to be your problem. Oh, I'm going to slice your tires, and I hope you get drunk. Which tells me what? I got a pretty good resentment towards you. So I got to do inventory on that. I got to get down to what in the world is driving me. You see, whatever bugs me has got an old idea attached to it. Don't ever lose sight of that. Don't ever think it's just because we think less of ourselves. Oh, no, no, no. This thing goes everywhere. My ego is a shapeshifter. You guys ever watch True Blood? Wow! I swear, I'm like, Charlie, lock all the doors. Okay, turn it on. But, you know, they talk about shapeshifters, and one of the things about the ego being a shapeshifter is that all of a sudden I finally do all this work, right? And I'm looking for this particular defects of character that I'm aware of so that I can take something to God. And all of a sudden my ego shapeshifts. So I'm looking for this dog, right? And this bird flies by. I go, oh, that's not a defect. See what I'm saying? See, the old ideas can be really good. I'm a good mother. I think I'm a very good mother until you challenge me. All you got to do is challenge me. You let your kids do that? That's a challenge. What do they mean by that? Why'd they say that to me? You see what I'm saying? You guys got to nod your head or something. Okay, I'm telling you. I know I'm coming at you hard, but just be with me. Be present, okay? Sometimes you feel like you're in a PTA meeting. So, one of the things about this, so my mom dies, and the last mom that stayed around stayed forever, and wonderful woman, but she and I just clashed like crazy. I started drinking when I was 12, and I don't know about you, but when you're 12 years old, it is not easy to get booze. You can only steal so much booze from your parents' house. And my house was a partying house, man. I'm assuming in Louisiana there's a lot of partying houses, more than there's that teetotaler in Texas, you know what I mean? We were partying at my house. So you could take some booze, but you could only steal so much booze. And so you had to sit in front of the 7-Eleven, you and your couple of girlfriends, right? Now you guys got to know this. The women always know what I'm talking about, but you're 12 years old and you're sitting in front of the 7-Eleven because you're waiting for the creepy guy. Yeah, and you're waiting for the creepy guy to pull up, and you're going to ask him if he can buy you some booze, right? Now remember, we're not selling Girl Scout cookies. We're clearly we've lost a lot, okay, at 12. Are you with me on that one? So we're looking for the guy, and the creepy guy pulls up, and we go, there's our guy. We're on our little Schwinn bicycles, and you know, it's like, hey, can you buy us some Boone's Farm? And he goes, I sure can. You know, he's probably about 38, he seemed 100. And he goes in there, and what's the worst thing in the world now that we got to do is we got to lose creepy guy. See, he's in a car, and we're on our bikes, and we're heading to the woods, and he doesn't know. And so our biggest deal is to lose creepy guy. And that's not too terribly difficult. I mean, it's a little bit like flicking a booger off your finger, but you'll eventually you'll get him off of there. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, I swear to God, he brings out the booze, we hand him the cash, and we get on our bikes, and he's like, hey. Now, here's the important news about that. That creepy guy is sitting in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous today. I know you know who you are. There you go. I always got one that's willing to admit it. Yeah, one willing to admit it. Now, here's the best part of this whole story. We women, you know the book, I love it, where it says that our sex powers are not to be used lightly or loathed, right? And let me tell you, as women, most of us, I'm generalizing, most of us come in here and we have used our sex powers. Thank you very much, right? And so I know how to use them. Now, that doesn't mean anybody's getting laid. I just know how to use them. Are you with me? And so what I do with my sex powers is I get what I need. So a lot of times, unfortunately, we tend to point out the person who might be hitting on the new gal. I think we're all kind of getting our needs met, if you know what I mean. And if I see that happening, I might say something to the guy, but most of the time I'm going to pull the girl aside and say, listen, hon, I don't care if you lay the whole room later on, but let me take you through the work. Let me get you sober. Let me get you on this spiritual spot you need to be on. Because if we think she can come in here, doing what she does, and I can't keep the boys off of that. She doesn't want the boys off of that. Are you with me on that? It is my job as a woman in Alcoholics Anonymous to march my butt over there and get her, and it's you men's job to march her butt over to me if I don't have the minute to come get her. Say yes? Yeah. Yes. And we got to stop this nonsense of blaming. Just do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Just go snag her. So what if you got Swinging Richard out there still doing his deal? You know what I mean? I swear to God. Because the truth of the matter is, guys, we women, we can handle ourselves, yes? Yes? Okay. So, one of the other things, too, is don't lose sight of the fact that, man, when we got to turn it on, we turn it on, and we get what we need. All of a sudden, I just need a pickup truck to move my apartment, and I really don't like that guy at all. But I'll go get him a cup of coffee, and I'll sit down next to him and go, Jim, you do have a pickup truck, right? Do you mind? I know, I got to move my apartment. Do you mind if I borrow your truck? Oh, you want to help me? Oh, sure. See, that's what we do. And we know we're doing that. Trust me, we know we're doing that. But, so I really believe that the majority of the time we can handle the creepy guy, right? And so here's another thing, man. I end up leaving home at 15 years old. I get in such a huge fight with my dad and my stepmom that my dad says, let me tell you something. You can't live under this household. Out. And I'll tell you, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, man. I left home and never came back. 15 years old. And I'll tell you, one of the things that is very interesting about this and so important for continual inventory, continual written inventory, continual spot check inventory, but continual written inventory, is that I ended up leaving home. I had a bicycle, right? I mean, that's hard to get around with the bicycle. And I ended up finishing school early. Now, here's the important part of this story. I could care less about education. Could care less about it. I don't care where Venezuela is. I don't care about the history of our country. I don't even think Bob Dylan should be singing. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to know the truth, he's bad. And good songwriter, bad singer. But, I thought the Statue of Liberty was a man. I mean, I'm telling you what, when it comes to education, it's not my cup of tea. But I got that diploma because I needed to prove to you that I wasn't stupid. Now, had I not done inventory, what I would have found out, I would have thought that I needed to go get that education. Because I got to get that education. And have you watched anybody go get an education while sober? They are crazy as a road lizard, man. I'm telling you, their AA program gets put on hold. They're just grinding through it. You know what I mean? And they're and I'm not saying don't get your education, but be very, very careful that you're not getting it to fix that black hole. Because, see, that's what I would have done. If you feel that you were robbed, if your alcoholism robbed you of your education, man, I'm your biggest fan. But the truth of the matter is, I have never, ever enjoyed learning. Zero. And let me tell you, I managed to make it all the way through school, and the only book I ever read was The Outsider. So go figure. I never read a Cliff Note. I didn't read squat. I don't know how to spell. I can barely comprehend. But I was an amazing businesswoman that made a buttload of money, man. I knew how to make money. And I just retired after 30 years. I was in the fitness business, and I mean, I could make some money, and I knew I was not stupid. My company had me travel around the world for 18 years speaking on marketing with no education. See, because I can make money. Now, I don't know where Venezuela is. I really don't even know what the Eastern Bloc means. You know what I'm saying? And I marry into a family of educators. Oh, my God. You heard Charlie's mother was a teacher. Well, my husband should have been a teacher. Their whole lineage is teachers. And they think that maybe they can bring me to the other side. I swear, we passed OU one day, right? There's OU, and Charlie goes, God, look at that campus. Isn't that beautiful? I said, it looks like a prison to me. I mean, no, there is nothing pretty about a college campus to me. It just looks like a lot of work. You know, I drove by my high school, and they're all there taking the SAT on a Saturday. Who comes and takes a test voluntarily on a Saturday? Not me. And I didn't even know what it was. But, Charlie, he's so funny because he'll say things like, I'll say, honey, how do you spell? And he'll go, let's sound it out. Those are fighting words, man. And it's funny because I got a sponsee that we call each other Dumb and Dumber. There's a guy from Norway that came into our meeting, and it's so funny because she goes, is he from, there's a bunch of people standing around, is he from Norwegia? And I looked at her, I said, he is Norwegian. Oh, and this will be my last one on this note. It's really great. My daughter and I are sitting there. She, stole the grandbabies and moved up to Gig Harbor, Washington. And so I go up there and visit all the time. And I got there, and we go out on the Puget Sound, just beautiful. And I was just so tired. And I said, wow, April, I said, what is the altitude here? She goes, Mother, you're at sea level. And I said, but there is a gigantic mountain right there, April. Mount Rainier. She goes, Mother, you have to be on it. Okay. Well, okay. So I mean to tell you guys, my drinking now, I am 15. I rent a little house. I can get the job done. I am that kind of gal. You need a picture with me and the president? Give me a week. You know what I'm saying? What do you need? I am the go-to gal. I get anything I ever want, anytime I ever wanted it. That was my motto. And I am telling you guys, I am a conniver. I'm a con artist. I'm a liar. I'm a cheat. I will do whatever. And at the same time, I just love you. I just love you. Voted most likable 4 years in a row. And so one of the deals that is so important to know about this is I've got a level of self-reliance that when I came into this AA program, you guys tell me I got to let go of self-reliance. Not me. No, see, I can get the job done. I'll bring God in when I need him. Come on, God. Come on. No, never mind. Never mind. I got it. And see, I get the job done. So you're asking me to set down the one tool, the only tool I have perfected well when I come into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. My drinking got totally out of control. I know pitiful, incomprehensible demoralization. I had a 5-year-old when I got sober. My daughter was 5. Let me tell you, from 0 to 5, I raised that poor little girl in an alcoholic home. Nobody was watching her. Child Protective Services wasn't like they are today. 28 years ago, they just weren't like they were today. Crack cocaine changed all those things. Thank God. But one of the things that I can tell you is I met this boy, and he said he was sober. And I remember thinking, what does that mean? Sober. And he says, I have serenity. Another word I couldn't comprehend. And the next thing you know, I chase him into an AA meeting. Some of my better thinking, right? And I'll tell you what I didn't see coming. I did not realize that the rooms were full of people that look like you guys. I really believe that the people think alcoholics are the guy in the trench coat with the booze in the paper bag. I really believe that. And so I come into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. There's tons of laughter. Oh my, I fell in love with the fellowship. I was one of the lucky ones, man. I absolutely loved the fellowship. He had 6 years. I had 10 minutes. And here comes my sex powers, right? And he kept going, this is wrong. No. No, it's all good. So, come to the light. Come to the light. He's a big book thumper, right? I swear to God, I tell Charlie, I said, the crazier a woman is, it's like an aphrodisiac to you men. You know what I mean? You go, oh, oh. We women should have a shock collar on you and just zap you. Oh, Charlie married every crazy-eyed girl in Alcoholics Anonymous. Man, we were best friends for 20 years. I was crazy in love with this guy for 6 years, right? This my husband. We ended up getting married, but he was a big book thumper, and I'd sit at his feet, and he'd read me the big book. That's pretty special. And some people may say, oh, let's see how long that lasted. It lasted 20 years. It was an amazing relationship. We were crazy as, you could be. We were living in counseling. See, that's the tricky thing. Trust me, counseling is a privilege. You know what I'm saying? Just so long as you're running everything past your sponsor. Very important. Right, Julia? There you go. I tell you, I always tell all my sponsees that are in relationships, are y'all doing counseling? No. Have you ever done counseling? No. Okay, go do some counseling. God almighty, we just got to get some fighting rules down. Are you with me on that one? We got to have some fighting rules. We got to know how to communicate. Because right now, I'm going to hold a pillow over Charlie's head and kill him. You know what I mean? I am going to kill him, and then I'm going to figure out how to get everything. I'm telling you, it's just crazy. But see, I came into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous really believing this. Nobody told me this. I don't blame anybody for any of my mistakes. That would just be I'd be a hypocrite standing here now that I'm on this other side of coming out of untreated alcoholism. If I blamed anybody for anything I did it because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. They say, well, there's a lot of watered down AA out there. Well, I was a member of it. How do you know what you don't know? I'm not the biggest fan of it, but if I'm going to stand up here and cram what I know down your throat, you're not going to let me. So I hope my experience just kind of rattles your cage enough for you to go, oh, God dang, I'm doing the same thing. Maybe I ought to look at this. And so, see, I thought AA was for drinking. I really believed there was a graduate level program out there. I did. Because once you took the drink off my back, remember, drinking fixed me, then it became the enemy. So it must be drinking. So even though the book says the drink is but a symptom, yeah, maybe for somebody, but not for me. It was the problem. And so when you take that away, I thought the selfishness and self-centeredness meant only when I drink. Surely I can't be that selfish and self-centered. Really? Voted most likable 4 years in a row. See, I thought selfish and self-centered meant stingy and conceited. I had no idea that it meant I don't think too much of myself or too little of myself. All I ever think of is myself. See, I missed all of that. I didn't realize that self-centered fear is not the root of my problem. Fear is merely the activator. It's, I'm deathly afraid I'm not going to get what I think I need or lose what I got. You see, it's me painted in a corner because I'm so self-centered. And then I thought counseling, which is what we did in the 80s, right? Codependency recovery. Can I see a hand? Okay, let's see. You know about your inner child. I know about my inner child. I know everything there is to know about my inner child. And what we did is I was in codependency recovery therapy, group therapy. Group. I'd rather shove bamboo under my nails, man. That was tough. For 10 years. I know the inner workings of Katie's mind. I know how self shows up. The only problem is that I thought I could fix it. I didn't realize I had to have God involved in those defects of character. The death blow is when you say you're working on your defects. You can't. The book says I can't. It says I can't wish them away or think them away no matter how hard I try. I remember the first time I read that line, I went, shut up. Look at the person I've become. I am a somebody. And the other thing I didn't realize is all I did is I lived on detachment and boundaries. Matter of fact, if you were a problem, we're going to set up a boundary. because I just get everybody out of my world. I love the line, my truth. Oh my God, run for the hills if somebody comes to share my truth with you. My truth is a delusional, is really an unprocessed delusional thought. And there is the truth. But my truth, no, the book doesn't tell me anywhere I get to go share my truth with anybody. Okay, you guys got to quit getting up and moving around like you are. God Almighty, I know I am good. Sit down. So listen to this. This is a very interesting line in the book that I just was in shock when I read. It says, let me find it. It's bottom page 19, top of page 20. Now listen to Codependency Recovery Therapy, Boundaries and Detachments, and listen to this line that it says in our book. It's not well written from a scholar. Most of us sense the real tolerance of other people's shortcomings and viewpoints and a respect for their opinions are attitudes which make us more useful to others. Basically what that's saying is, other people's viewpoints and shortcomings are the guiding light of my life. The more you bug me, the more I need to go to God, the closer I get to my Creator. But what we have a tendency to do is we do separation. We just move you off the page. So that's all we do is just move you off the page. I get a different job. I get a different boyfriend. I get a new neighbor. See, separation, and we think that we're feeling better, when in fact we never dealt with whatever it was we needed to deal with. We never took it to God. I never saw where I was a hypocrite. That's what an alcoholic is. We're absolute hypocrites. That's where the book talks about that on 60 to 63. It says, as ex-problem drinkers, our very lives depend upon the constant thought of others and how I may meet their needs. On my own power, I can't touch that. Now, I can fake it. You need something? Here, let me hold the door. You better say thank you. Oh. Here, let me let you in traffic. You need to give me one of these. You see, oh, I can fake being nice, but what goes on up here? And that in a spiritual world doesn't matter. I love what Bob Bazan says. He says, we think it's kind of crude, but I love it. We think we can pee in one side of the glass and drink out of the other. See, I know, but we think we can have a level of dishonesty over here and live in spiritual principles. We can hate someone over here and be spiritually fit. The book says resentment is the #1 offender. It destroys more alcoholics than anything else. See, I really don't get to be that angry. Now, I'm going to get angry, but I got a set of tools that I must use, and it's not logic. I can't logically talk my way out of you pissing me off bad, right? And here's something that's very interesting. If there's anything I do or say tonight and it disturbs you, take it to your sponsor. Don't bring it to me. It's not worth it, you know? It's not worth it for either one of us. Write it in a 4-column inventory. My name in column 1. You know what I'm saying? If there's anything that I say that disturbs you, the work is not with me. Go figure out that I'm either off the mark or you're off the mark. But our troubles are of our own making, right? And that's the interesting part of this whole deal. So, and then I thought, okay, so I think AA is for the drink, counseling is for my inner child, my dysfunctional stuff, and church is for God. Because I lean towards the Christian side. You lean towards the Eastern, whatever you lean towards, have at it. I'm not about that. I'm just sharing I'm sharing my truth. I'm sharing my experience. Are you with me? So that's what I thought. Well, Joe and I, you know, I'm sitting at his feet. We're 3 years into this deal, man. He is now 9 years sober, and I'm 3 years sober, and I mean, I've done everything. You know, I've chaired committees. I've been in service. I sponsored. I'm all about it because he's a big book guy. And he finally says to me, you know, Katie, I'm not feeling like, I think we need to go to church. And I thought, you know, I really never had anything against church. Actually, I was raised Catholic, you know. It was so funny because my mother never went, but my father did. And he used to say, your mother's Protestant. What? And for 40 years, I kept looking for a Protestant church. There was not a Protestant church. There was Episcopalian, there was Lutheran, there was several, and I found out that Protestant is anything other than Catholic. Really? Who makes that word up? What's up with that, you know? Oh, well, there you have it. And I sat there while they spoke, I keep wanting to say Irish, but it was, what'd they speak, honey? Latin. They spoke Latin. And, oh, my God, I just remember thinking, but really what I want to do was just take a booger and flick it on my sister. Because, you know, I mean, that was, oh, my God almighty. So I didn't have any good or bad. It was just flat, right? So Joe takes me to this church, and I'm apprehensive. And we walk in. It is non-denominational. The 2 overhead projectors are there, and they are, woo-hoo! Oh, my God. I walked in, and they're singing, and the band is playing, and they repeat the same thing about 89 million times to where you think you sound good. You know what I mean? It's like, he loves me. Oh, my God. I fell in love with the church, and then I became a Jesus freak. Now, this is the important thing, and if that offends you, please listen to the whole story. I absolutely became a Jesus freak. And I thought, oh my God, I have arrived. AA was for drinking. Counseling is for the inner child, my dysfunction. And church is for my spiritual growth. Because see, I was always a seeker. Always was seeking something. And so what happened is, and this is what I didn't get, guys. I'm telling you, we're chameleons. What do you need? You need me at the PTA? I can be at the PTA and blend. You need me at the biker rally? Come on, baby. Come on. You know, where do you need me? I will blend anywhere we are. And so one of the things that I did in church is I became that chameleon. I blended. Now, I knew I was a little different because everybody would always say, we're praying for you and Joe. Always. Always. Because we were like, you know, we were raised in AA. You just tell it all. Tell it like it is. You hurting? Yes. Hurting bad. Go back into the prayer circle. They say, didn't we pray for that last week? Oh, excuse me. Didn't know we only had one prayer option here. You know. I mean, I swear to God, at one point, Joe and I looked Amish. Joe had the little things, the little swoop. I started wearing underwear. Okay? You said, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, it was bad. And, you know, and I love the line in the book that says, for if an alcoholic fails to enlarge his spiritual life, I thought there was a period there. It says through work and self-sacrifice for others. What's work? 4 through 9. Disciplines of 10 and 11. Self-sacrifice for others is the 12th step. See, we in Alcoholics Anonymous must put AA first. Must. Fatal disease. Kills us. Just kills us. As a matter of fact, what kills us? Resentment. We must put it first and foremost. Everything falls below that. Church, family, everything. Listen to this about Roland Hazard. And this is what I love because I thought I could find it in church. And don't get me wrong, church is good. If you want to do church, you want to sit in an ashram, I don't care what you choose to do. But you cannot make it the wherewithal. This is on page 27. Remember, Roland Hazard is meeting Carl Jung. And it says, and when Carl Jung says he needs to have spirituality, basically a spiritual experience, Roland Hazard takes a deep breath. And he says that while his religious convictions were very good, in his case, they did not spell the necessary vital experience. See, we are missing a lot of filters, guys. We are so self-centered. The book says we get rid of it, but not rid of it like we take the garbage to the curb and never see that garbage again. Oh, trust me. If you think you're completely rid of selfishness and self-centeredness, please let me follow you around for 24 hours. Please let me point it out to you because, see, I become heightenedly aware of it in you. I am blinded to it in me, but I am heightenedly aware of it in you. And it's always cloaked behind a kind motive. I was just trying to be helpful to my home group. And now they're all pissed off at me. That's how the deal works. You know what I'm saying? So one of the things that I didn't realize is the gifts of Alcoholics Anonymous took me away. I had so many fabulous gifts that when I found church, we just whoosh. And the next thing you know, we're there 3 years. We still have our AA friends, but I did try to come back to, you know, bring Jesus to the Heathen alcoholic, that doesn't work very well. Have you ever tried to do that? You see your new Jesus freak friends start coming, you're like, run! Run! Oh my God, you got to find the Lord. Find the Lord. Bless you. Oh God, it was pathetic. And this is all looking back, guys. Now don't get me wrong. I absolutely love Jesus. That's my choice. I get to have my own choice. It's not an outside issue, it's my choice. It's my experience, it's my story. You want to sit there and meet the Dalai Lama? You want to be with Tupac Oprah? It doesn't matter to me, man. Whoever you want to pick, you have at it, you know? But me, that's my choice, right? So I got a lot of cool stuff out of all of that. But one of the things is I told Joe, I said, oh my God, Joe, I am losing it. And Joe said, so am I. And I said, what do you want to do? And he goes, let's go back to AA. I said, that's what we need to do. So we go back to AA, we go to that noon meeting, we sit down, and I looked over at him, and I swear I'll never forget this moment. I said, oh my God, we're home. We're with our people. We're with our tribe. And he said, I know, honey, I know. And I'd love to tell you at that point, guys, we clicked down the yellow brick road. We had arrived. No. What we entered into is what I didn't know and Joe didn't know. Now, we'd been sober. I'd been sober 6 years, and remember, he always had 6 years on me, and he'd been sober 12. Those are fairly dangerous times, if you want to ask my opinion. I think 3, 6, 9, 12 is very dangerous times I sponsor half the country, so that's my statistics. And, that's what I see happening. That ego of the alcoholic rebuilds at an astonishing rate. And the more time you got and the less work you're doing in the program, your ego won't hear a word. It's always that flag that he said, my story's different. You don't understand. Don't you come at me with that AA hinky stuff. I got big problems here. And the next thing you know, Joe and I entered into what I call meeting-based sobriety. We didn't get sponsors. We had each other. We didn't work the steps. Why? Nobody was saying anything, and we went to a meeting that really didn't discuss it much. We went to the meeting where you raise your hand. You know, you got the chairperson that does the death blow. Anybody got a topic? That's the death blow. Please tell me you don't ever do that again. If you're going to chair a meeting, get a topic. If you're going to read out of the big book, try to limit it to 5 lines. Don't read 12 pages. You know what I mean? Because inevitably somebody will go, God, I'm glad we're talking about gratitude. You know what I mean? I mean, it just wowza, 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 you know? And so, you know, that's all we did. And so what you did is you went in there, raised your hand, you said, you know, I had a really bad day, I need to leave it here. That's what we did. We were totally middle of the road and didn't know it. My husband had been a big book thumper. So don't ever think you're bulletproof. You're absolutely never bulletproof. And so the next thing you know is what we realized is the person, and I'm not saying this for everybody, but this is for us. We went to a meeting every day. You know why? Because we needed a meeting every day. See, when you're not working the steps, you need to go to the meeting to get the relief, but you're not getting the freedom. And you're sitting in that meeting just like I was and thinking, God Almighty, I hope somebody shares something that's helpful. And I don't know about you, but if the new guy was there that day, great. Great, the new guy. He's the most important person in the room. So everybody's going to tell their war stories. I'm not going to hear what I need. I need somebody to share a pearl of wisdom. And so what would happen is somebody would share something that I'd be able to hang on to till the next day. And then I'd get to another meeting till I never got the freedom. I just got the relief. And that's what it says on page 25. And I love this, guys. I'm stark raving sober, and I don't know it. But I am edgy. It says on page 25, if you are a serious alcoholic as we were, we believe there is no middle-of-the-road solution. We were in a position where life was becoming impossible. And if we had passed into the region from which there is no return through human aid, we had but 2 alternatives. One was to go on to the bitter end, blotting out the consciousness of our intolerable situation the best we could. And the other was to accept spiritual help. I assure you there is somebody sitting in here stone cold sober with an intolerable situation. And they are scared to death. And they are going to their meeting hoping to get the relief. And they need the freedom. And this is how you find the guy. I can look around because I'm facing you guys. We all laugh about something I said. Not everybody is laughing. They are hurting. They are hurting bad. So that's what I say to you. The next time you're sitting in a meeting, you look for the guy that is not laughing. You go over to him and say, hey, how you doing? Not doing very well. You got a few minutes? Take him outside. You see, I am triage. I am armed with the facts about myself. I have a message of depth and weight. What am I supposed to do with this guy? Give him hope? Hope is not what he's looking for. I'm pulling out a piece of paper. I'm writing a 4-column inventory. So, what's the problem? You pissed off at your boss? What's his name? Mr. Smith. Okay. What's he done? 3 bullet points. Let's see what that affects. You see, that's my job. My job, it's not I'm stepping on his sponsor's toes. My job is I am out there in a battle zone. I'm on the firing lines. That's who I'm looking for. That's what I need to do. That's what we need to do. Are you with me? Say yes, man. Say yes. They're dying like crazy out there. And we pat them. You know, the girl that cries, oh, for God's sake, she gets a whole herd around her. You're hurting? Most of the time it's called self-pity. And you just bought into it. I just broke up with my boyfriend. Oh, I swear to God. And I'm out there going, let's put him in a 4-column inventory. Or you got an overwhelming fear, let's put it in a 2-column inventory. You know, come on, we can do this, man. You got to get the facts, right? You got to understand the clear-cut directions. Well, the next thing you know, guys, I've become a slogan slinger. I have people slinging slogans at me. And one of the things that I didn't realize is when my troubles started getting really bad, and you came at me with a slogan, all I wanted to do was punch you in the face. And you quote page 449, except now, pow! Take you out, man. Oh my God. And you're the one who goes, you know, love and tolerance is our code. I just told you I hate someone's guts. Love and tolerance is our code is the promise. So you're asking me to work the promise, hoping the steps come true. It doesn't work that way. When I tell you I hate somebody's guts, that's a resentment. We have clear-cut directions on a resentment. So go outside. When I hate somebody's guts, we're not going to do some talking about it. I need an inventory because magic happens with pen to paper. Magic happens. Oh, I'm telling you, I write inventory once a month on my husband. Well, you should be too. He writes it on me. You know why? Before you know it, I can't stand the way he sips that coffee. Oh my God, the breathing in and out and in and out. Oh my God. And then before you know it, I have married the wrong man. You see, it doesn't say resentment is the #1 offender unless it's your husband. You don't have to worry about it. You see, we have to do it on our parents, our children, our boss, our co-workers, AA people, sponsees. And what I do is I call my sponsor and go, oh, God, dang, man, Charlie and I had a dandy of a fight. And I got an idea of how it went down. She says, take 15 minutes, write inventory. I write inventory, I call her back. She takes 30 minutes. We don't have to meet. We just do it right there on the phone, man. Just do it. Get me to see this from an entirely different angle so I can realize I want to grow old with this man. I'm crazy in love with this man. Please show me this. Help me swallow and digest large chunks of truth about myself. Oh, man, it's magic. If you haven't done it, then don't share an opinion on an experience you haven't had. It's great. Write inventory on your significant other at least once a month. It really is magic. I mean, you will, you know, the book says the most satisfying years of our existence lie ahead. It really does. We don't blend well with people. We don't live well with people. I love it where it says, the book says, a mere code of morals or better philosophy of life were sufficient to overcome alcoholism. Many of us would have. It tells me right there, I can't do it. You can't just sprinkle some fairy dust on me. I suffer from a fatal illness that drunk or sober will take me out. Why do we think people off themselves in Alcoholics Anonymous? They can't take it anymore, and their pride won't let them drink. Absolutely. This pride thing, let me read you something. This is unbelievable. And you're just going to have to sit there for a few more minutes after an hour. You are. I'm not going over on the CD, but you're going to be here. And if you got to pee, I'm sorry. Okay, it says, listen to this deal. This is the best deal on pride. Now, pride is what our problem is, right? Our ego. It's called self. It's called 100 different things, but it's the one that says, where I say, no one should ever doubt me, right? And it says, my name is pride. I am a cheater. I cheat you out of your God-given destiny because you demand your own way. I cheat you out of contentment because you deserve better than this. I cheat you out of knowledge because you already know everything. I cheat you out of wholeness because you refuse to admit when you're wrong. I cheat you out of genuine friendship because nobody's going to know the real you. I cheat you out of love because real romance demands sacrifice. My name is pride. I am a cheater. You may think I'm always looking out for you. Untrue. I'm looking to make a fool of you. That's cut off your nose to spite your face. You see, what I do, my pride, I take score. Oh, I keep score on you. 2 for me, 1 for you, 2 for me, 1 for you. I'm the sheriff of everything. I don't know about you. I mean to tell you, I am the sheriff in the airport. I'm the sheriff in the Starbucks line. Now, you may never know it. At the grocery store, oh my God. You know what I mean? In my mind, I believe I got a better way for everyone. See, some people may say that's an Al-Anon problem. That is the root of alcoholism. If everyone would do as I wish, the show would be great. Everyone, including me, would be fine. So you guys got the script this morning. Read it, follow it, and I'll tell you where you need to stand. See, and that's how self-centered we are. I'm not thinking about what you want because I know what's best for everyone. See, 60 to 63 is what Charlie and I both missed. It is a huge right turn. It gives you the different ways that self manifests. Then the inventory process is a consideration of how you show up. See, I got to see how I show up so that it even becomes objectionable. See, you make me mad and then you ask me what's wrong. I go, nothing. Well, you seem mad. No. How do I show up? I don't tell you the truth. Why don't I tell you the truth? Because you should know. Don't you remember when I quit talking to you about an hour and a half ago? And Charlie will say to me, honey, I swear to God, if you don't tell me, I'm not going to get it. Well, that pisses me off too. See what pride does to me? So what ends up happening, I do got to scoot now along on this. What ends up happening is Joe, the man I was married to for 20 years, gets very, very sick. Very, very sick. We don't know what's wrong. But the doctor, the psychiatrist, wants his brain scanned. We both are self-employed. We both have catastrophic insurance. The next thing I know, we're taking him into the emergency room to get his head scanned. We get in there, and the doc scans his head. He comes back into the room, and he looks at me, and he goes, oh, my God. He said he has a gigantic brain tumor. And I remembered at that moment, guys, I forgot to tell you the most important part of this story. I was trying to rush it. When I was at my sick AA meeting, because you have to go to a pretty sick AA meeting if you're never going to read the book. And, because that's just what we did. How do you know what you don't know, And this girl said, Katie, if you need medical insurance, you can go drive a school bus. I got a career in the fitness business. I can go drive a school bus. So I'm going to go drive this school bus, get this medical insurance, get Joe's head scanned, and quit. You see, because I'm not really hurting anybody. I'm going to get a job, maybe stay 6 weeks, 2 months if I have to, but that's it. Then I'm done. I just need his head scanned, and we can't afford to get his head scanned. So that doctor comes in, he puts his hand on my shoulder, he goes, my God, he's got a gigantic brain tumor. And my very first thought was, I'm going to be driving this damn bus for the rest of my life. See, that's the level of self-centeredness I suffer from, and the bad news is, so do you. See, that's the key. Most of us go, no, I'm not that self-centered. Yes, you are. See, it's only the root of our problem. Now, I didn't say that to my husband. Oh, my God. I just couldn't believe it. I was overwhelmed with, oh, my God. I am going to be driving this damn bus forever. I drove that bus for 3 years, guys. 3 years. My husband was a very sick man. But the amazing thing is he wasn't going to die. It was benign. But he had massive brain damage. He didn't have physical damage, but he had massive brain damage. He was like about a 16-year-old. And he'd never work another day in his life. That'll throw you into a little fear, a little bit of four horsemen in the middle of the night. You know, we're a two-income family, got a kid in college. You know, I'm pretty devastated. I'm driving that school bus, stark raving sober. Now imagine me on a school bus. Oh my God, your life is right here. Right there. And I swear, hey, go. Oh my God. And the kids love me. They really did. But there is so much power in a school bus when you kick those reds out. See, I throw my reds out, you stop. You, and there was a guy in a BMW, I'll never forget him. I drove in a fairly wealthy neighborhood, and I wasn't doing well financially, so everybody pissed me off that had money. And so this BMW is, you know, he's always racing me in the morning. You know how that your route's on the same route the bus is? And this guy would always try to haul ass past me. Man, I'd kick those reds out, not even at a stop. And I swear to God, he'd look at me and I'd go. And he'd always go, what is wrong with you? Who's got the power now, Mr. BMW? Oh, yeah. Oh, and you know what? I swear to God, this one's my best story. There's these two humps, right? And I'd have these 5 boys on my bus, the end of my elementary route. And they'd always, oh, come on, Miss Kate, come on, go fast over the humps, go fast over the humps. I said, okay, today I will, but guys, I can't lose my job, man. So I'm looking around, and you always had to come to a quick stop, right, after these 2 humps. And I said, everybody, get in the back. And I mean, you could hit those, I got them in the very, very back. You could hit those humps hard, and it was all boys. And I swear, I'd look in that rearview mirror, they're like, wow! I mean, you could get them like 4 seats, you know what I mean? It's like, wow! Well, I drive that bus, and I get it, and it was a gas bus. It was an old beat-up bus because diesel doesn't go very fast, and I gas that bus, and we'd hit that thing. Jesus, I have no idea how high I must have gone, but when I came down, all of a sudden the back, it goes, I thought, and the kids are like this. And I get off that bus, we go to the back end of the bus, I blew all 4 valve stems off the back end of that. And those kids were like rats from a sinking ship, man. They, pew! And I swear to God, I am standing there thinking, oh. And you know, it's that moment where you go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And you'll get on, turtle bus to base. Turtle bus to base. Yeah, this is base. Go ahead, turtle bus. I go, man, I don't know what happened. But all 4 of my valve stems blew off the back end, and the boss always had a radio on him. He goes, what? I said, yeah, man, I don't know what happened. Well, they come out there, right, because they got to come out there. I ain't going nowhere. And this is what the mechanic did. You don't know what happened? Nope. And that's that moment in life where you know I'm lying, I know I'm lying, and nobody's telling the truth. So can I lie in sobriety? You bet your butt I can. See, I can't lose that job. My husband is a sick man. I cannot get COBRA. I need that HMO. I need them to take it out of my paycheck. That's what I'm talking about, guys. It was terrible. I'm living in the bedevilments. I'm keeping an eye on the time. Trust me, you're not going anywhere yet. I'm living in these bedevilments, right? You know, the ones that Charlie read. We were having trouble with personal relationships. We couldn't control our emotional nature. Prey to misery and depression. We couldn't make a living. We had a feeling of uselessness. We were full of fear. The new word for that is anxiety. And, you know, I got so much anxiety. Oh, well, then write a 2-column inventory on your fear. You know, we were unhappy. We couldn't seem to be of real help. I had 3 blow-in-the-bag anxiety attacks during this period. I'd never had an anxiety attack in my life. And what I didn't realize, guys, is when you go to a doctor and you explain what's happening to you, he's not going to say, Katie, you need to have a spiritual awakening. He is going to say, we have Zoloft, we have all kinds of stuff for that. Open wide, ping. And let me tell you, I'm not here to say you should or shouldn't take an antidepressant, but untreated alcoholism, that is the diagnosis. So how about we try to work the 12 steps with somebody that knows how to, and then if that doesn't work, you may be one of the clinically depressed. But I say, give it a whirl. Let's see. And here's the tough thing, guys, is if you're sitting in those bedevilments, what you don't realize, and this is what I realize, is that all of a sudden you just go to have something as simple as a root canal, and the doc says you're going to need a Vicodin of script. Yes, I am. And you take that Vicodin, and when that malady's on you, it triggers the allergy. See, it's not used as medicine then. And the next thing you know what I'm doing? I'm scheduling more dental work. And that's what happens, and that's what I see people go out on. And here's the good news was that tumor was benign. The bad news is my husband at the time, we didn't have a safety net. We were in untreated alcoholism for well over 10 years and didn't know it, doing meeting-based sobriety. Not blaming anybody for that. It's what we did. And unfortunately, he could not handle the trials and low spots ahead. And he ended up using after 23 years, and he died of a heroin overdose. That's what I'm talking about. Don't ever underestimate the power of this disease, guys. It is fatal, absolutely fatal. If you're not doing anything, 10th step, spot check inventory, 11th step, evening review, checking your day, asking yourself the questions in the book, taking that into your prayer and meditation, seeing what your 24 hours have for you. You want to pray for world peace? Have at it, man. But that's not what our prayer and meditation time is about. It's to be divorced of selfishness, self-pity, dishonest motives. See, we are so self-centered that that's all we see. There is a disciplines. Mark said that we were the most undisciplined group of people you will ever meet. See, we're sprinters, but we're running a marathon. The book gives me clear-cut directions on what I must do. The disciplines of 10 and 11, and I must carry this message to his children. The terms God makes, stay close to him, perform his work well. He takes care of what I need, not me. He does. If you're not in the book, please get in the book. And if you are, I'll see you on the firing lines. Thank you.
I think we got a great talk going on here. Thanks for watching the channel. Taper Dave here. Just curious, do you think this is better than Zoom? Okay, this is how I prepare my drone for launching. I like to do it inside the cab of my truck so I'm not standing outside in the weather. To install the joysticks for control, up and down, right and left, powered on. I have an Android phone that I use to connect it to the drone with. And it's actually controlled through the iPhone, through an app. Oops, wrong way. It's actually controlled through the iPhone, or through this Android phone, through the app. It's actually controlled through the Android phone, through an app, and you connect it through this short connection right here.
Remote control connected.
Remote control's connected. So I pull out the drone. I have to extend the legs. Long legs extended first, then the short legs. Remove the gimbal protector. Set that aside, then power it on one short burst, then one long burst. I lay it down. So I have to go to calibrate. So the drone's not connected yet. It shows you here as this drone gets disconnected, even though the remote's powered on. So the drone has to establish it's connected. So I go into the app to calibration mode. First, I'll calibrate the remote controller. Start calibration. Out, in, oop, out, in, up, down, and then this little wheel is to control the gimbal. So it's calibrated. Go to gimbal calibration, start calibration, and then it calibrates the gimbal. I don't know if that shows up. The gimbal's moving all over the place. Changes, you can see it on the video. And I'm calibrated to take off. It's acquired 7 satellites at the moment. There are 26 satellites up in the sky, which it has to acquire before you can take off. So it's connected. It's got enough satellites. This is white. I can go to press this little arrow button, swipe right to take off, and it would start the motors if I slid this to the right. But I'll wait till I get outside. Don't want to do it inside.